In Orcish, babe.
In Orcish. All right, so this is Corey from Chrysalis Endeavors, and I am here to talk about and do a Tabletopia tutorial for Runes and Bones. I've got some friends with me. Uh, Below me, hiding behind the Thief rune, is Tracy. Hi, Tracy.
Hello.
And then across from her, hiding behind the Skull rune, is Clay. Hey. And then above Clay, hiding behind the Spy rune, is Holly.
Very appropriate behind the spy room. Hmm.
And then up above Holly is your token. You, the viewer, also get to play through this tutorial. You are hiding behind the Dajurga rune. And there you are. Actually, that's me in cosplay, looking like the Orc General Wasadka. And so a little bit about the Runes and Bones game. I'm going to just switch over to a little movie here where I'll translate in Orcish what Orc General Wasadka was doing when he made this game. Runes and bones have been sources of power and divination for tribal orc spirit talkers for countless generations. As the wisdom of the few remaining spirit talkers fell to the bloodlust that consumed the race, the runes and bones, once used as an honored system of divination, now serves as a campfire game for orcish warriors everywhere. All right, we're back from the video. What do you guys think?
Corey, you said that was you cosplaying. I believe that's just your Friday night attire. That's what we call date night in the Papa Stathis house.
Don't add me to this mix.
I'm trying to teach Tracy Orcus. She just doesn't want to jump in. She doesn't think it's a valuable
I don't
skill.
see why not.
How do you say I love you in Orcish?
There is no translation for "I love you" in Orcish.
Well,
the
there you
closest
go.
thing the
That's
closest thing is "I trust you at my back with a knife." That's the closest thing to "I love you."
That is love.
Love right there.
All right, so so some background of this game. It was created while I was in cosplay doing LARPing, and I used to do Dagger Here, a live action role play, and it was something we did during our camp weekends at the LARP where we would play Runes and Bones at the campsite around the campfire. People would bring little trinkets and stuff that they had built, necklaces and tunics and whatever, and they would trade those for bones, and then we would play Runes and Bones, and they would then use their bones that they won at the game to trade for other people's prizes that they had brought. So that's kind of how it came about. The objective of the game is very, very easy. It is about getting all the bones for yourself. There's two different setups, and the one we have in front of us here is the 6 round setup. So basically, what you do is round one, you have one bone per player to start the pot, and then two, then three, then four, then five, then six bones gets added to the pot. So each round, more bones get added. That is the kind of 6 round, more like tabletop game setup. The one I was kind of explaining that would do at the LARP would be more the player elimination setup. So, um,
I have a quick clarifying question, Corey.
yes, Tracy, go ahead.
So you said 6 rounds versus player elimination. In a 6 round game, could players still be eliminated?
Yes. So in the 6 round game, you can lose all your bones and be out. If you lose all your bones by round three, you could still be out. But the longer version is just you have uh, you start with 10 bones, and whenever you're out, you're out, and whoever gets knocks everybody else out of the game, kind of like a poker game. You try to knock everybody else out. That means you win in the player elimination setup. But right now we have the 6 round setup. And the way you would do that would be you'd give every player 10 bones, which in Tabletopia, these are in our bags here. We all have 10 bones. You would take 1 bone per player and you put it in the pot for that first round, and then you give everybody 3 runes. And normally you'll see in some of these runes, so like my banners here, it says draw 2 runes from the bag. In the Tabletopia version of the game, there is no bag. It's just a stack of rune tiles. Um, in the physical version of the game, there's actually a leather bag that you can reach in and pull your stuff out of. Um, so this is our bag for this. You normally also wouldn't have your runes face up on the table. You'd have them kind of hidden to yourself. But for the demo purposes of playing through a round with you, the viewer, we have them face up so that you can see what our strategies are and what all we're doing. Any other clarifying questions about setup?
Well, I just have a question since you said it was like poker. Is this something where you can buy in mid-game or can you join mid-game?
In the LARP version that we did, people would buy in mid-game all the time, and there's 2 ways to do that. So and I wouldn't suggest it if you're doing the 6-round setup because it's too short of a game and it would give somebody new a bigger advantage. But if you were just kind of playing like a poker game, you could do one of 2 things. One, they can just start with 10 bones, or 2, you find out who has the least amount of bones, and that's how many they start with if they jump in. And that's what we did when we were at the LARP. People would just jump in with 10 bones. I would try and encourage people to cash out because we'd already have like 8, 9 people around the table playing, and it got really unmanageable. So what can you do on your turn? You've got 3 options on your turn, and it looks like I've already done one of them before setup. Okay, so the one option you have is to play one of your runes. And we will talk about how you play a rune to win the pot in a minute. But first, you can play a rune. The next thing you can do is you could pass. And passing means you're taking a bone from your stash here and putting it into the pot. The third thing you could do is fold out of the game. So you're basically folding and saying, I'm not going to play anymore this round. So let me grab my bone back.
Corey, can you explain again the difference between the pass and a fold?
So a pass means you're still in the round, meaning that when your turn comes up again, you can play another rune. It allows you to stay in the game or in the round, so to speak. I'll just put that there. Whereas when you fold, you don't play any more runes. You can't win the pot. You're out for the round. You've basically said, I am not going to win this pot. I am not going to commit any more runes or bones to winning this round. I am out. Whereas with the pass, you just pass. You add to the pot, make it a little bit more valuable. And then when your turn comes around again, if your turn comes around again, you get to continue playing.
Okay.
So, any other questions about the 3 options? Pass, fold, or play a rune?
Yeah, so I have a question because I'm looking around at all of these different cards that have some text on them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you fold, can you still be victim to all of these shenanigans that other players might play?
You sure can. You're still in the game. So as long as you have runes to be able to be stolen or bones that people can steal, even though you folded, you can be victim of the shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anything else about options before I go into how you actually use these runes to win the pot?
Nope.
All right. So if I play a rune up here, that, because there was nothing there, that's now the winning rune, which means I take this little winning rune token. If it becomes my turn again and nobody has taken this token from me, I then win everything in the pot. And then, so how you win is, I'm going to just blow up this little icon here. So the first thing you do is you resolve that top icon, the element icon. So earth captures water, water drowns fire, and fire scorches earth. So I'm going to look at my example here. So that is a water shield. So we're just talking about the top icon, the element. So the only thing that could beat this is if somebody had an earth icon. So I think Clay has one as over here. So he has a little mountain, so that's earth, and that would be able to capture my water. Meaning that if he played this rune, he would then take the winning rune token, and if it comes back to his turn again, he wins the pot. So that's the first way to win something. The second way is if the element icon match, basically if you've got an earth and an earth, two different or two runes, same symbol on the top, then you resolve that second or weapon icon. So an arrow slays an axe breaks a shield, and a shield blocks an arrow. So for example, I'll use my same example here. I have a water shield. So if Tracy played this water axe, that means that these match. So we go to the second icon, meaning that there's a axe breaking the shield. Tracy would take the winning rune and move on. So she just dropped that on top of it, and it works that way. There's
Okay, what if both of those match?
So if both match, so I have this earth axe, she has an earth axe. Mine's the one winning right now. She can drop that one on there and then add one bone to the pot and basically buy the victory. Because they match, buy it away from me by adding and enriching the pot a little bit. So that's the main runes, how to win the pot. And then the special runes that have text on them, they can't win the pot, but they give you a bonus for winning the pot later or for using things on the next turn or the next round. And they just are what they are on the cards. And the text is on them. And we'll talk about that as we play them, but briefly, I'll go around. Banners is the one that I have. Draw two runes from the bag, and like I said, there's no bag, so I would just be able to take two of these. Tracy gets to steal from the pot as the thief, so she would just take two of these bones from the pot out. It makes the pot less rich, and Tracy more rich. Clay has the skull, steal three of another player's bones, so he picks a player and steals their bones. And then Holly has the one we all hate, look at another player's runes, select one of them, and then immediately play it as your own.
Oh, that's nice.
And then you, the viewer, or Wasadka, you have take two runes from other players. And this can be two runes from one player or one rune from two different players. And you just take them. Now, you don't get to look at them normally. You will because they're on the table. But normally you would just say, give me one of yours and one of yours. Or if you want to be more specific, you can say, give me the left one out of your hand and the right one out of your hand, but you don't get to see what they are when you take them. And that's all of the different kinds of runes. There's element weapon runes and special runes. So now I think, unless there's any questions about all of that stuff, we'll just go through a face-up round so that the viewer can try and see what's going on here.
Hey, Corey, with the skull that I have, can
Yep.
I steal 3 bones from 3 different, or 1 bone from each person, or do I have to still 3 from one person?
3 from one person.
Cool.
Yep. And you'll notice that this one has the apostrophe before the S, and this one from other players, plural. So
Thank you.
I had that problem when I was playtesting, and I had to make sure that it was written right. Okay, so we're going to actually, Clay, we're going to start with you in this demo round.
Okay, cool. So the first thing that I would do is I would take my earth and arrow, and I would place it on the top of the stack. And then I would be winning that round, so I would take the winning rune to my hand.
All right, Holly, your turn.
I am going to scorch his earth with my fire. So I will take my fire and place it on top of his earth. And take the winning rune for myself.
All right. And then you, the viewer, we're just going to say you're going to pass for now, because this is your very first turn ever. You're just going to pass. Don't worry, it'll work out strategically for you in the long run. So I'm going to take my water rune and drown that fire that Holly just played, and take that.
All right, so I have a matching water to water, so I'm going to look at the bottom tile, and my axe is going to break that shield that you just played. So now I'm winning.
So now it's back to me, and I really want to use one of my special runes. So I'm going to steal 3 of another player's bones. So I'm going to put that, and I don't have to put that on top of the stack. I'm just going to put it in a little discard pile next to the stack. And then I'm going to come over to the viewer, and I'm going to take 3 bones from the viewer.
You are messing with an Orcish general, my friend. I don't know if I would do that.
Well,
Wouldn't be my first time.
All right, Holly.
All right, I'm also going to play my special card here. It says that I can look at another player's runes, select one, and then immediately play it as my own. So I will take the card I'm going to play and put it on top of this other special card. And Corey, I'm going to look at your cards, but since they're already face down, I can see them. And I am going to take, sorry as I operate this here, your earth and play that on top of the fire. Right? Did I get that right? Water. Sorry, earth captures water.
All right, which means you're now winning. You take that away from Tracy.
Give it to me, Tracy.
All right, so it's your turn, Wasadka. You are going to play your rune, and you're going to do something very mean right now. You're going to take 2 runes from other players, so we'll go ahead and play that. Now, you notice there are 2 players on the board. Well, there's 3 players on the board that have only 1 rune. So what you're going to do is you're going to take me, take mine out of there, and Clay. Clay, you're going to take his rune as well. So doesn't help you win the round, but you now have 4 runes, and to help win that pot. And then it comes to my turn, and there's actually nothing I can do. I could put a bone in there and pass. Now, strategically, that would be real dumb, because that's just me giving my bones away to other people, because there's no way I'm going to win that pot. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold, and then it is Tracy's turn.
All right, so I really have to play something here or else Holly wins. Is that correct?
That's correct. Because it would
okay.
come back to her, and she has that winning rune. Clay can't play anything, so...
All right, so then I'm going to play my earth to earth and the axe to axe, so it's completely matching. But in order to do that, I would have to put a bone in the pot. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. If you play in exactly the same rune, you have to buy the win, basically, by putting an extra bone in.
So I'm making the pot worth more, but I'm buying that winning rune back from Holly. That's what I'm talking about, girl.
And then since it's my turn, I have no runes to play. I don't want to waste one of my bones just by putting it in there for no reason. So I, too, am going to fold.
All right, and then now it's my turn, and I happen to have a fire, which scorches earth, which is the top card on here, Tracy. I'm going to be taking that winning one back here from you. All right.
All right, and now it is your turn, and in true Orcish General fashion, you're going to drown that fire out with your water and take the winning rune. Now, you could have played your special rune to get more runes, right? But the problem with that is that would have left you with 5, and you can only have 4 to start the next round. So it's probably better that you didn't play the rune you stole from me, which lets you get 2 extra runes. So you're winning that, and now it goes, I'm folded, I can't do anything. Tracy?
Well, I can't win this one, but I can take 2 bones from the pot. Thank you very much. At least I get something back. I'll take those. Oops, I put it in my hand, sorry. Okay, it won't go in my bag, but whatever.
I had the same problem. It just falls on top of the bag. All right, so that is yours, which means it goes back. It is the viewer's turn. They have the winning rune token in front of them. They would get all of the bones from the pot.
Corey, do I have to fold?
Oh yeah, it would come to you, and you would have the option to basically give them a bone or fold. But I would fold because you couldn't play a rune.
Yeah.
Comes back to them. They have 3 runes to start the next round. We have nothing. So now I'm going to talk about starting a new round, and then that'll be it for the tutorial, and then you can stick around and watch the playthrough if you want. So the end of the round, basically the winner takes the what's in the pot. You put the winning rune token back on there. You take all the stuff that was played and put it back in the bag. And in this case, this is just a stack. And you just shuffle those around. And now, unlike a hand of poker where you just deal out stuff, this actually, the more runes you play, the more you have to invest to be able to get into the next round. So basically, you have to buy. First of all, we'll take the ones from round 2, put them in the pot. You have to buy the runes for the next round. And the way that works is it costs 1 bone per rune that you want to buy one for the next round. So I'm going to go ahead and buy 3 to go into next round. And we're not going to play the next round, but I want to show you how that works. So basically I would shuffle these, and then I would draw my 3 to start the next round. And I can put them on the table, get them out of the way here. And then Tracy, who would be next, because here's the thing. When you win, you're first, which means you're last to buy runes and do all of that stuff. So you'll be first to play, last to buy runes. So you won. It would become my turn at the setup. I buy 3. Tracy, how many would you like to buy?
So you said I could buy up to 4, is that correct?
As long as you don't start the turn with more than 4, you can buy up to 4. But I got lucky. I only bought 3, but I'm going to actually be able to grab some more from other players.
Yeah, I'm going to buy 3 as well. Am I doing that now, right?
Yep.
1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
And Clay?
Well, I can buy 4.
You can buy 4, yep.
I'm going to buy 4. Because I'm rich.
Okay.
I'm buying 4 as well.
So then the other thing you can do, now that it's back to you and you actually have runes left from last round, you can pay 1 bone if you want to trade things you don't want in your hand. So let's say you wanted to get rid of both of these runes. You could pay 1 bone to discard those 2 runes and draw 2 to replace it. Then you also have the option to buy up to a 4th rune, so you could do that as well and get your 4th rune to start the next round. So then we would all be ready with our stuff in our hands and a big pile of bones in the middle for that round 2 to play the next round of the game. So at this point, we're going to take a quick break, set up for the playthrough game, and be back in just a moment.
But I like my cards I got in my hand.